welcome to Conversations with My Real Friends. I'm Jennifer. I'm here with my friend Jorge. Jorge's with Century 21 Real Estate Alliance, and he manages brokerages. So if I'm a consumer and I am ready to buy a house or sell a house, right, how do I pick from what California has a few 100,000 real estate agents?
Yes.
What are things as a manager that you would say are things that consumers should look at in order to select the right agent for them?
Yeah, and I think that's a great question, because there's, as you mentioned, over 200,000 real estate agents that are members of the California Association of Realtors.
Right.
And then altogether, real estate licensees about 400,000,
Yeah.
450,000 approximately.
This is just California.
This is just California. So the first clue is, their involvement with, the local California Association of Realtors. That would be my first one.
Yes.
Second is their involvement. There's, the National Association of Realtors has what is called the C2EX, which is a commitment to excellence.
Okay.
Also, there's different opportunities for real estate agents to get additional training and certification.
Right.
May that be the accredited buyer representative. There's even a green designation for those that are using technology to avoid the use of paper, for example.
Right.
At a local level, there's a real estate couple that uses local matters, and I think that actually is a very true statement. These agents are very, very local, and by that is we understand. When you're a local agent, you understand the nuances related to each city. So for example, Ventura has a point of sale requirement, which is the private sewer lateral inspection.
Right.
You don't have that in other cities, and Ventura has made it a requirement. If you are not a local agent, you would not know that when you're taking a listing, for example.
Right.
Because it's something that is required every 10 years on a resale home. There's nuisance, for example, in the Santa Ynez Valley, there's no water. And if somebody wants to buy a farm and that is going to be, required a lot of water, well, they don't have enough water.
Right.
So a local agent will know that, an out-of-area agent would not know that, just as a couple of examples.
Right.
Sometimes the most popular agent, and as much as I love my popular agents out there, I think that someone that is committed to the consumer's well-being, that are involved in some of the local issues related to housing, that's important for me.
Right.
And someone that is not going to hide behind technology to get their job done. Somebody that is going to be there, that is going to be accountable,
Right.
that is up to speed with their, for example, the Association of Realtors has a code of ethics.
Yes.
Somebody that subscribes to the code of ethics and embodies it by living according to what the code of ethics, that is a high mark on my list.
Right.
The consumers, how do they know that? Well, interview. You can start with the Chamber of Commerce, ask them, hey, can you make me a recommendation of 3 to 5 agents in your marketplace? Chamber of Commerce will happily recommend it. Even obviously they're going to start with their local members, but their members may have someone that they know that embodies the what a real estate agent should be.
Yeah.
Accountability, transparency, communication.
Right.
That is going to be present.
Yeah.
That is not going to just use someone else to take care of the job for them. We have, we form teams, and sometimes teams are used to send a buyer's agent to go out there and show the house. I'm not saying that it's good or bad, but sometimes that agent may not necessarily know what's going on as much as a real estate agent that is going to show up, answer all the questions, and help the client make an informed decision.
Right. The bottom line is you're going to want to interview, right? And determine what factors make sense for you in order to pick the right agent.
Right.
Right. Don't just take the first one that
Yeah.
you see, right? I mean, that really should be part of your process. Vetting is a part of any process of selecting a vendor.
Yeah, and when you're doing the interview is, when was the last time that you closed a transaction? How did that experience go? How were you able to overcome a challenge where the buyer or the client or your seller did not necessarily agree with what you had to say?
Yeah.
How did you help that person make an informed decision? It's not about cutting corners. I mean, you are making a large investment,
Yeah.
right? So may that, in our market, the average sales price is $950,000 approximately during this time. That's a lot of money. And how do you know that you're buying the property on the right side of the street or on the right side of the correct side of the market, right? But again, the asking a lot of questions is important. Interviewing the references is very important as well. Checking for Google reviews. I think those Google reviews are very important. And you can actually screen which ones are actually genuine or the ones that were solicited and so forth. But accountability and transparency are very important. And I think that a consumer that takes the time to interview will be able to determine which one is the right one.
Right. You have a much better chance of getting an agent that's the right fit for you.
Right.
Great. So if people have questions, want to find out more, how can they reach you?
Well, they can reach me at my website, first of all, which is www.jorgedeleon.com. My cell phone, which is 805-794-7102, or through email, which is jorge.deleon@c21realestate.com.
Great. Thank you for joining me, Jorge.
Well, thank you.
And thank you for joining us for this episode of Conversations with My Real Friends. We'll see you on the next episode.